a federal resource response, that you have a local government, the city of Chicago, subsidizing the infrastructure of a crisis that's being caused by a governor in another state. I'm frustrated as well. Over 600 buses have arrived in the city of Chicago since I've been mayor. We didn't call for those buses, and the governor of Texas sending buses to the city of Chicago to create chaos in this country. And so our effort here in the city of Chicago, of course, is to continue to call on Congress to do its part, to do its job, because we need real immigration reform policy to actually take full effect. We have not had immigration reform policy in 30 years. The last time something of substance happened, I was in high school. And the time before that, our beloved Bears were Super Bowl champions. Congress has to act because it's causing the type of disruption and chaos that the governor of Texas wants to create. Because keep in mind, he's only sending those buses to democratically ran cities. Mm-hmm. It's an intentional attack against the country. And this is why I'm committed to bringing structure, to bringing some coordination to this mission. I've gathered mayors from around the state of Illinois to address this because it cannot just fall on the city of Chicago. Congress has to do its job, provide the resources and funding that's needed to bring a coordinated structure.
All right, guys, this deserves to be talked about because this man, when he ran for office, he was going to be the savior of Chicago, the Chicago that Lori Lightfoot absolutely destroyed. She let it turn into a gang-infested war zone, and she did not let the police do their jobs to protect the citizens. So Brandon Johnson ran on a platform where everyone is welcome. We're a sanctuary city. I'm going to stop putting social workers on the street to stop the violence. From day one, all of it has failed. And since he became mayor, Texas has bussed in thousands of illegal immigrants because, again, Chicago is a sanctuary city. Now, Brandon Johnson has reportedly been hospitalized for panic attacks because, quite frankly, he's not up to the job. He never was up to the job, and he knows that the city is failing. So there's a podcast in Chicago called The Chicago Way, and they spoke about the mayor and the so-called panic attacks. And one person had said, no amount of antidepressants can cure him or Chicago's illegal alien problem, which is true. Two sources told this person that he has been hospitalized for these panic attacks. He's stressed out. This is a big, big job for him. He's not ready for it. He's not a leader. The bottom line is he was never ready for it. He tried to use the illegal immigrants to bring federal money into the city for his own woke policies. And the federal government under Joe Biden, who are letting the illegal immigrants in the country, are not helping him. Now he's starting to realize that he cannot, under any circumstances, fix the problems in Chicago. He wanted to be the savior, the almighty. And guess what? What he did was continue to be woke, continue to dump money into programs to keep kids off the streets that have not worked. He's continued to move people out of places so illegal immigrants could stay there. He's housed them in police stations, in schools, in vacant buildings, or wherever he could find, and they just keep coming. But he also blames the governor of Texas. Well, Texas has every right, as far as I'm concerned, to bust these illegals away from them because they are not and have never been a sanctuary state. They are not, or do they have the capacity to take care of hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants that the Democrats are allowing into this country. So now the report comes out that good old woke Brandon is in the hospital. And I'm not a bad person. I don't wish illness on anyone. I hope he recovers. I hope he's okay. But the bottom line is, he knew this was going to be a problem. He knew that Chicago was nothing but a war zone. And he did nothing to try to stop it, but try to implement woke policies that were not going to work. These are the Democrats of today, the liberals. Everyone is welcome, no matter where they're from. We're going to take care of them. And now he can't. And the federal government doesn't care because the Biden administration, we all know, is an absolute failure. And this is going to continue until they close the borders. So that's where we are with this problem. The Democrats, the mayors who run these Democratic cities, continue to blame Texas, Arizona, Florida, or whoever is sending these illegals to other cities and states. They're blaming them because they're having financial stresses now. They can't take care of the problem. But they never, ever say that they understand that it's not up to Texas, Arizona, or what have you to take care of the hundreds of thousands of illegals who have come into this country. This is not a Democrat problem or a Republican problem. Well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. This is one Democrat's problem, but not a Republican problem. The Biden administration has had an open border policy from day one. They continue to say the border's secure when we know it's not. Now that Sleepy Joe is on the campaign trail, which quite frankly is like a comedy show, he's starting to talk about the border. They need to give me the money. The Republicans in Congress, as far as I know, are willing to fund the border, but the Democrats want Ukraine funded first. So let's say they want to give $70 million to Ukraine, but they only want to give $14 million for the border crisis. Of course you'd be against that. How about reverse that? Give $14 million for Ukraine and $70 million for the border. But the Democrats won't go along with that. That's why the Republicans are saying, oh, well, you created this problem. Now you need to come up to the table and fix it. Why should the United States government continue to send millions upon millions into the billions of dollars to the Ukraine when they only want to spend a small portion on the United States to close our border, to get more security there, be it military, border patrol, or police? The Dems are against it. But Brandon Johnson doesn't think so. He says Congress needs to act. The Republicans in Congress will act if their Democratic colleagues go along with it, but they won't because they want to continue the open border policy, continue to flood this country with illegal immigrants. And I'll say it one more time, and you're probably sick of hearing me say it. They're doing it for one reason, for votes in major elections. That goes along with their no voter ID policy. That's what this is all about. It started in the Biden administration's first day in office, and it continues today, 3 years later, with have been over 7 million illegal immigrants into this country, and they're sent all over the place. It's not the border states' problem to house and take care of these people. They don't belong here. They want to come to the United States. You do it the proper way. But the Democrats in this country don't want that because it takes years. And that's too long for them to wait to try to stay in office so they can continue to destroy this country. He blames the Texas governor for routinely sending migrants to Democratic-run cities, and that's true. But he's sending them to the Democratic-run cities that are sanctuary cities. He forgot to say sanctuary, okay? That's why it's happening, because these cities are supposedly open for all. Everyone's welcome. And now they're feeling the pressure because their own voters, their own constituents are against them. And they're protesting against these woke administrations who won't do anything for their own people because they're too concerned about taking care of illegal immigrants. That's the problem here. The Texas governor isn't purposely causing chaos. He's doing what he needs to do to protect his own state and the people who reside in the state of Texas. There's a bottom line here. They don't belong. Again, there's a right way and a wrong way. The right way is to file whatever you need to file paperwork-wise to try to become a citizen and wait, or you sneak over the border, or you come by the thousands, and the officials are so overwhelmed, people are just coming through left and right. This is a Democrat problem. It's a woke liberal problem. The liberal media doesn't talk about it because they know they're all on board with it. Because don't forget, voter ID is racist. So these thousands and thousands of people are votes for a Democrat politician.